Holy smokes, everyone. Out of the studio today. I'm out here on the beach today, so something different, but this is an urgent update. I wasn't sure if I was going to make a video today why I went away today. I had to get out in nature, I guess, with all the craziness going on in the markets. But you, my subscribers, come first, so don't worry, I'm definitely going to keep you updated no matter where I am in the world. You, my subscribers, like I told my wife, always come first. Just kidding. I hope she's not watching this video, otherwise I'll be in big trouble. But yeah, we need to speak about what happened in the markets today. Again, huge volatility in the markets today. The Dow lost about 600 points. You can see just on the beach here, guys, with some rocks here. Yeah, Dow down around 600 points. The S&P down over 2%. The Nasdaq falling nearly 3%. Bitcoin has fallen to around $40,000. That's down roughly 8%. And this is what I've been warning about, everyone. You know, I did the video yesterday about how the banks are desperately trying to crash the markets. They're putting out, you know, all the fear in the articles. They're trying to jack up interest rates. The banks have been preparing for this by hoarding cash at the Fed, and they're going to profit massively from this cash. And you know, they say if you can't beat them, join them. So if you see what they're doing, you can also use that to take advantage yourself. Now, what's causing some of this sell-off in the markets today? There was nothing really we got today that we didn't already know, but there are some things happening. First things first is Fed President James Bullard. He came out again. You know, he's the hawkish hawk. He's the one hawk to rule them all. He came out and he's saying, look, if we don't act now, if we don't do something now, inflation is going to get much, much worse. And this is what I've been calling for, everyone. And you know what is absolutely ridiculous? What I can't believe, and I can't really stress this enough, everyone, is we got the highest inflation we've ever seen since the 1940s, World War II. They're saying it's 7.5%. We all know it's 15%. Shadow Stats shows the way they used to calculate it, the way the 1980s, it is 15%. But they're still printing money. They're talking, they're doing a lot of talk, saying, yep, don't worry, you know, we're going to lift interest rates in the future. Yeah, don't worry, we're going to sell off assets in the future. But they're still not. They're still buying US treasuries, and they're still buying mortgage-backed securities. So the Federal Reserve, just turn around here, give you guys a different view. So the Federal Reserve is just trying to pretend like they're trying to fight inflation, when really, people, the Federal Reserve loves inflation because it devalues the debt and it lifts up asset prices, which, you know, all the federal officials have been caught insider trading with their portfolios, and you know, they're all about to head into retirement, so I'm sure they don't want to crash right when they're about to retire. And like I said, the government loves it because right now the US national debt is $30 trillion. So there's absolutely no way they can afford to repay the debt without surging inflation. So that's why they're just trying to talk now, everyone. They're just trying to talk, pretend they're doing something, but really they're loving this inflation right now. So what I think James Bullard is saying, if they don't act now, if inflation gets more and more entrenched in the economy, which what we're seeing, I think the PPI, the Producer Price Index, came out this week, and that was 1% month over month. So that is showing that inflation is not slowing down at all. It's going to get worse. So if this keeps getting entrenched, well, then things are just going to get worse, everyone. And then what will happen is people will start buying things now, and that's what I recommend you do. If you need something, don't wait 6 months to buy it. If you can and you can afford it, buy it now, because I think prices are only going to get more and more expensive. Also, what we have right now, so that was number one, I guess, kind of causing a bit of fear in the markets today. James Bullard comments, but we already knew he was very hawkish, and I agree with him. The Federal Reserve does need to do something now, otherwise inflation's going to get worse. There's also something else going on in the media right now, and I think it is a big distraction to hide all the issues that are going on right now in the US. And what is that? That's the Russia-Ukraine issue going on right now. Now again, I'm not a geopolitical expert, but what I do like to do is monitor the media and monitor the politicians, I guess you could say, to see what kind of narrative they're pushing, or to see maybe some misdirection they're trying to do to take people's attention off some bigger issues. And what have we seen lately? We've seen the current administration's approval ratings have been going lower and lower. We've got surging inflation in the US. We've got inequality getting out of control. We've got a huge homeless crisis going on right now in California, really across the whole country. And there's also a lot of unrest with the mandates that are going on right now, whether you agree with it or not, but that's just the facts. So this Russia-Ukraine crisis, whether it is a legitimate threat of an imminent conflict, it's just a bit of a coincidence, the timing of it. And it's funny because what I've been observing is, you know, for all I can say is to take them at their word. Russia's saying we're not going to attack right now, or there's not going to be anything happening now, which again, not saying I believe them, but I'm just taking what they're saying and from what I'm hearing other people saying. Ukraine's saying, look, calm down, we don't want a conflict right now. But the US mainstream media and NATO, every day, they're like, you know, Russia's got to invade next month. Then I'll look at the news, oh, it's going to be next week. Then I'll look at the news, oh, it's going to be within the day. Then I'll look at another news article, they're going to invade it within the hour. There's a lot of fear-mongering, I guess you could say, or war-mongering. And I'll just show you this, guys. So the water. Hopefully I don't get caught out here on the rocks. Sorry guys, this is my first time trying to vlog. I'm not really a pro vlogger. But yeah, going back to what I was saying. There's a lot of the media trying to push this out, trying to create conflict, fearmonger, and they seem to want it a lot more than Russia and Ukraine want it. And again, that's just my observations of what I've seen so far. So we've got that. That is another risk with what came out with today, James Buller comments, and with what's going on with Russia, Ukraine. But also, I think what is happening right now is the markets don't know really which way to go. This is a very unique situation that we're in right now. We've got a weakening economy, but we've got surging inflation, which is really stagflation, and the Federal Reserve has to lift interest rates into this environment of surging inflation and a weakening economy. So this is really, there's no way out of this one, guys. Like I've been warning about, I don't see a way the Federal Reserve can get out of this one without some kind of damage. Either they're going to pretend to fight inflation, raise interest rates to 2%, the economy will crash and then they'll reverse course and just let inflation run hot, or they're going to have to jack interest rates up. Inflation is going to keep getting worse, and we could get interest rates up to 5, 10. I, even really fear, what if they have to get interest rates up to 15%? That is something I think investors are still in denial of. I still see it so many times in the comments. The Federal Reserve can't lift interest rates. They won't lift interest rates. Some people think they can't even lift them by 1%. Like I keep warning about people, they have no choice. They have to do this, and even if they don't do it, we're kind of screwed either way. And this is the price we're paying for our leaders kicking the can down the road for the past 40 years. You can't just keep kicking the can down the road forever. Eventually the road does end. You can't just stay on that high forever, party forever. Sometimes you have to roll your sleeves up and get back to work and become more productive and rebuild from a more sustainable base. Now again, going back to what's happening, and I put in the title here why I sold. I had a little bit of crypto left, and I had some few individual stocks left over. I thought, you know what, I'll just probably hodl them during this market crash, because I sold most of it mid last year. And I'm not recommending you guys to sell your stocks, time the market or anything. It's definitely not something I would recommend, and definitely not something investors should try to do. But I had some other opportunities that are coming up, and I thought, okay, you know what, I think I can put this capital to better work. So I did sell the rest of my crypto. Again, not really trying to time the market, but I've got some other things that I need to do with that capital, some other opportunities I think that I could use to get a better return of, you know, the average 10%, or even I think we still got a lot lower to go. And for you guys, if you can think of other opportunities besides the markets, we can get a much better return by investing in yourself or investing in a business. You should think about that as well. There's going to be hard times coming if there's another recession, but during every recession there's always an opportunity. And you know, you don't want to keep giving all your money to all these billionaires and never try something yourself. So you should always back yourself and try to start some kind of business that doesn't take too much risk, you can do on the side with your job, especially with the hard times we're going to have coming up ahead. And really, like I was saying, I don't see a way the Federal Reserve and the markets can have a quick V-shaped recovery from this one because of surging inflation. They're not going to be able to do stimulus this time, everyone. Every crash since 2008, they've been able to print more and more money. Here, I'll just show you the water here, guys, again. Yeah, every crash since 2008, they've been able to print more and more money, and they've been able to reverse course like in 2018, and they had the luxury of being able to reverse course because there was no inflation. And you know, this has really proven that modern monetary theory, where they say you can just keep on printing money, government deficits that have their own, or governments that have their own currency, they can have any amount of deficit they can, and there'll be no consequences. Well, we've seen that theory has failed, and failed miserably. And also another part of that theory is, what they're meant to do is, okay, when they get out of the recession, well, they're meant to bring things back to normal. When the economy is booming, when asset prices are booming, they're meant to take the punch bowl away. They're meant to lift interest rates up and try to get the, you know, the markets to a more sustainable level. But what the politicians or what central banks have taken from modern monetary theory is, they've just taken the printing out of it. They've just taken the stimulus out of it. They said, okay, we'll use that. We'll print money to get us out of recession. But then when the recession's over and the markets are going up, you know, 30, 40%, we'll keep it going. So that's another key thing they're missing out of modern monetary theory, everyone. So again, guys, that was just a quick wrap up. What's happening in the market today? Again, the stock's down around 2% with the S&P, Nasdaq down around 3%. Crypto, pretty big drop today, down to around 40,000. I'm on holiday right now, but don't worry, guys. No matter where I am in the world, I'll always keep you guys updated because yeah, you guys are really important to me, and thank you so much for all your support. If you are interested, when the crash does eventually come, you can get up to 5 free stocks with Moomo. I'll put a link in the description. Just give you one last shot here, guys, where I'm on the beach. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.